I bet you. I was like, is that in the song?
Mm-mm. Turn your volume down on your phones if you have them up. Hey everybody, it's your girl show and welcome to Church Girl Chats Live. I am so excited to be here. Y'all see, I have some powerful women with me on tonight, and we're going to be talking about navigating singleness in the church. What is that? How do you do that effectively? Is there an issue? Do we really need to talk about this? If you are a single woman or a single man, I need you to get everybody on the line to make sure that they are on today. And even for my marriage, I want you all to be on here as well. I am so excited for the panel that God has allowed me to pull together for tonight. It is going to be exciting. I promise you, y'all don't want to miss this. Don't sleep on this. Don't sleep on these women. We are so excited to be, to be here. And if this is your first time watching and you're looking at me and you're wondering who I am, my name is Cheryl Thomas. I am a minister. I'm a best-selling author and certified Christian life coach. And once a month, the first Monday of every month, we host Church Girl Chats. And we talk about everything about living the overcoming abundant life that God has called you to live. So we're going to discuss relationships. We're going to discuss church life. We're going to discuss marriage. We're going to discuss money. Yes, I said it. We're going to discuss money, business. We're going to discuss careers, entrepreneurship, everything that causes you to live abundantly in every area and in every facet of your life. And so I'm so excited to have some wonderful women with me on tonight. You don't see them right now, but I'm getting ready to pop them up on the screen, and I am going to introduce them as we join in this conversation on this evening. And so I want you to welcome with me my four wonderful guests. Y'all, don't y'all see them? Aren't they beautiful? I am so thrilled and so happy to have them. And so I'm going to go ahead and introduce them to y'all. Now, if I say right or left wrong, y'all forgive me because it's mirrored. So on the top, she's on my top right, but I bet she's on your left. Is evangelist, world-renowned psalmist Cheryl Boggs of the Cheryl Boggs Show. I am so glad to have her. I'm going to read just a brief portion of her bio. She's a radio host, a recording artist. She's a preacher and a worship leader. She led praise and worship for over 15 years for such noted pastors as Bishop T.D. Jakes, Rod Parsley, and Steve Hill. She is the host and producer of the award-winning Cheryl Boggs Show, Resting in His Word, which she rushed off of on this evening so that she could be on the program on tonight. She's an independent artist, as I said before, and we'll talk later about a new project that she has out that we want you to avail yourself to. So welcome. Y'all put some hearts and put some claps in these comments so that she will know that you love her and you're happy to see her. I don't see the hearts coming up. I need to see some hearts. I need to see some love coming up for Elder Cheryl. And then right below her, you will see Elder Sharon Grant. She is an ordained elder and chosen vessel of God. She has a willingness to support others, minister to those who are hungry for the word of God, and impact lives of those who are seeking Jesus Christ to be the Lord of their life. She has written several books. We're going to announce those as well. I think it is 2 or 3, but we're going to make sure that you get those. I have read them. You will love them. They're going to bless you. Giving up is not an option. And she's through her life, she's had so much that she could have given up, but God sustained her, and the power that He has poured in her life will help you sustain. If she knows about not giving up, it would be her. If anybody knows, it would be her. And then, okay, I'm gonna try to get this right again, y'all. Right below me on the bot, she's on my bottom left. She probably is on your bottom right. It is going to be Pastor Chrissy Vickers. We are so blessed to have her here. Y'all holler it up. Oh, wait a minute, hold up. I didn't tell y'all to clap it up for Elder Grant. Y'all clap it up. Show me some hearts. Show me some love for Elder Grant. We're going to love on all of them on tonight. And then we have Pastor Chrissy Vickers. She's been in ministry for 18 years. She took her trial sermon under the leadership of Bishop James Oliver Sr., and she continues to spread the word under the leadership of her father, Bishop Bobby Vickers, for over 11 years, being ordained a youth pastor in 2014. She currently serves as associate pastor of Love Fellowship Christian Center since 2019 and is the CEO and founder of Mind of Christ Ministries International. Her ministry has given her the opportunity to speak and minister at several conferences, youth revivals, conventions, organizational events, as well as other functions. And she has a brand spanking new book out that we're going to talk about later. I think it's a warm cup of tea. Okay, I probably just butchered the name of it. I'm so sorry. Hold up. Let me. If I kept reading, I would probably find the name of the book. Hold on. Pastor Christian, I'm so sorry. I just butchered the name. Oh, here's A Little Inspiration with a Warm Cup of Tea. Praise the Lord. I can't read. I can't read. And we are so excited to have her. So I want you all to clap it up for her as well and welcome her to Church Girl Chats. Church Girl Chats. I am excited, to say the least, about what we're going to be talking about on tonight. Um, it's been something that's been on my heart for quite a minute, for quite a while. And so I want you all, if you are on here and you have not already shared, I want you to share this broadcast to everyone you know. And let me know that you are here. I want to see everyone that's here. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you so much for joining. So glad to have you. So say hello in the comments so that we can see you here and that I can say hello to you as well. But we're going to dive into the topic on tonight, and how I think I want to go ahead and do this. I have several questions, and I'm going to ask everyone to respond to the questions. So as we go through the questions, and maybe we'll go clockwise. Okay, y'all don't know. Y'all know I don't know which way that is on here. Starting with Cheryl, and then we'll go around. But let me just say this. I wanted to address this being a single woman in the church. Um, I was gonna say 40 plus, but let's tell the truth. 50 plus years old, never been married. I have walked through so many different seasons in the church. Hey, Leslie, thanks so much for joining. And I've noticed something about being single in the church, and how you do have to navigate it, how it is different. And I wanted to address that because as I was speaking to all of our guests on last evening, I don't know if um, mainstream married folks realize the issues that are facing singles in the church. How some singles ministry may not serve us like they think it serves us, and so I wanted to have the discussion with some powerful single women. And so I posed these questions to them because I just wanted to open the dialogue. I wanted to open the conversation about it. And so I'm going to start with Elder Cheryl, and then we'll go to Elder Sharon, and then we'll go to Pastor Chrissy. And the first question I wanted to ask was, do you think that it is challenging being a single person, single woman for us in the church? Is that a challenge to walk through ministry as a single person?
Well, I I want to make sure I'm not still echoing. Am I
Okay,
okay?
I hear you fine.
Okay, great. Well, thank you for this opportunity. Uh, I think it's challenging in a way that one, how we see ourselves, and two, how we think other people see us,
Right,
because they may not be thinking what we may be thinking is, oh my God, they feel so sorry for us. Oh, oh my God, I don't have a husband. And they could be thinking, you know what, you got it better than me.
right, right,
So, as far as the challenge, what I want from this conversation tonight is to change the mentality of, number one, how we see ourselves,
right.
and and broaden our horizon. Like
Mhm.
I think we've misunderstood that. He that finds a wife finds a good thing. If we never smile, if we never say hello to anybody, if we ever, then I don't know how we are going to meet somebody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as far as the challenge, uh, we're gonna, is this a word, debunk
All right, debunk.
some of the myths? That's what I want to say. So yes, I think it is a challenge. Yes, I think the pastors and the people, the ministries, need a new, fresh look at what single ministry is, and
Right.
that's what we are here to do tonight.
Awesome, awesome. Excellent, excellent. Elder Sharon, give me your take on it.
Well, hello everybody. Can I just be sharing tonight because I'm not sure whether you're gonna want the elder or not. But no, with this conversation, I may need to just be sharing. But
Absolutely.
in answer in answer to your question, absolutely it is a challenge. And for me, I've been on both sides. So I've been on the side where I've been married, and I've been on the side where I'm now single again. And so it is definitely a challenge that we as singles face when we're in, whether we're in ministry, whether we're lay people in the church. It doesn't matter. There are definitely some challenges that we face, and I can't wait until we just get down and dig real good into this particular topic. Because as I said, we're about to be hot. We are going to be honest, open, and transparent. Well, I could say that for me because you guys know I don't mind telling my stuff. And sometimes it smells like roses, and sometimes it does not. So that's my answer.
All right, all right. Pastor Chrissy.
Yes. So with the question, is it a challenge being single in the church? Yes, most definitely it is, and it can be a challenge. And like Sharon, as for myself, I've been on both sides. I've been married, and now single again, and it's most definitely a challenge, especially as a woman preacher.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I get a lot. Why are you single? Why are you not married? You should be married,
Mhm.
and it just looks better to be married. So yeah, it can most definitely be a challenge. It most definitely can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I've noticed that too, like I said, being single all of my life, I'm different than the two of you because I've never been married. And what I noticed, especially in the body of Christ, is marriage is almost set on like this pedestal. And if you are not married, it's almost like you're looked at as if something is wrong with you. Even the question you talked about, Pastor Chrissy, why aren't you married? You should
Yeah.
be married. And then if you aren't secure in who you are, you can begin to think, well, maybe something is wrong with me. Why hasn't
Yeah.
anyone chosen me yet? Is do I have like those scarlet letter on me, or am I repelling people away? Am I causing men to go the other direction? And so for someone that doesn't isn't confident in who God has called them to be. And I will say that I wasn't always as confident as I am. Uh, the more you live, the more you learn, and the more confident. But I would say my late 20s something, my early 30s something wasn't as confident. And so when those kinds of questions and those kinds of statements were made, it made me feel some kind of way, like, well, do I have to be married to be okay? Like,
Yeah.
is that the measuring stick for me as a person? It almost became as if, like, every time I went to a church convention, every time I went to a family function, that was the question: who you dating?
Yeah.
You married yet? Can you ask me how I am?
Right.
Am I feeling good? Am I sick? Am I feeling healthy? Is my life whole? Ask me those kinds of questions, and so that I don't draw my esteem on being partnered with somebody else, that I don't draw my wholeness as a person on being coupled with someone else. And so I think one thing that can help, especially women, I don't know if men go through this as much as women go through this, but if the church would do a better job in making women feel happy, whole, and complete outside of this nebulous marriage thing, I think that will help women out, because I
Yes.
I talk and I mentor a lot of young women who are so and I don't even know if the young kids say this anymore, but it used to be thirsty,
Mhm.
so thirsty to be in relationship, so anxious to be in relationship, that they were making so many mistakes and they were discounting who they were. They didn't have enough esteem to be fully in a relationship. And so they were just grabbing anybody so that they could say they're with somebody, so that, people could say, somebody wants me. Look, he wants me. Like, okay, he don't have no job. He's not saved, but at least it's something. I'm starting with something. And so that's one of the issues I really wanted to address, because I don't even know if a lot of the people in churches, especially in leadership, are aware that there is this kind of I almost call it this invisible thing that happens when you are single, that I don't know if married people who are in the church realize that's there, or realize that there's almost a barrier to acceptance. That's a better word. The barrier to acceptance, because you are single. And so it makes single people, some, not all, because I do not speak for all, it makes some single people feel a little less than and a little out of sorts because of that. So I want to kind of look through some of the comments. I see. She says, I want help make being single look beautiful, desirable, and wanted. Absolute. Thank you. And I can't see your name really good, but Miss McCoy, that's
That's
exactly.
that's my best friend.
That's your best friend? Yes,
That is
I.
that is my best friend for almost 40 years. So I definitely get what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
But Cheryl, I'm gonna let you tackle it first, and then I'll just kind of piggyback off of you.
Yeah, and feel free. I just saw it. It grabbed my attention, because we do not make, in my opinion, and the
Yes.
opinion of all of those that are studying our own. This is not biblical. This is not scriptural. We are telling you our experiences. So don't
Yeah.
don't don't. Okay, anyway, don't go deep on us. I just had to put that little disclaimer out there. In my experience, we have not made singleness attractive. We
Yeah.
haven't made singleness be whole. We've made singleness be like, you're on the bottom rung step to almost being there. Like you almost there, girl, but when you get married, oh, you complete. Oh, God is pleased. Like singleness isn't beautiful. It's not desirable. It's not wanted. I'm not supposed to enjoy my single season. And a lot of people can't enjoy their single season because they're so busy waiting for the next season. I'm so wanting to be married that I can't enjoy singleness right now. And so I'll let you jump in, Sharon, and then Cheryl and Pastor Chrissy, if you want to comment as well.
Yeah, well, I definitely agree with what you're saying, Cheryl. However, I'm going to look at the flip side of that as well. And the
Absolutely.
flip side of that is that there are those of us who do make singleness look beautiful and wanted. But when we do that, then we are attacked sometimes from the other side to say that we have now become arrogant or conceited when we are in actuality just walking in our contentness, if that's a word. So we have become content in the status that we have. So no longer when we see the post that's put up that says, Boaz is coming, we don't immediately go out there and just click like and love because it's like, oh my God, Boaz is coming. No, 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 no. I'm content. And when Boaz finds me, because I'm going to be well hid, but see, my being hid doesn't mean that I stay in the house. No, I'm still going to make up my face, do my hair. I'm going to have a nice 5-inch to 6-inch pump on,
You go,
and I'm going
girl.
to walk out real cute.
You better do it.
and right. But with that as well, because we walk in that way, we walk in that confidence, sometimes we are looked upon as being arrogant or conceited, and that is not the case at all. And what that means is that we have just become at peace. We have become content with who God has called us to be. We have spent that time with ourselves. Now, see, here I am. I'm an empty nester now. And so it's just me. I spend a lot of time with myself. And in that, I have found that I am a good person. I'm so funny. I'm cute.
All right
And all that
now.
good stuff.
Go ahead, girl.
I just
Tell
tell
it.
you
Tell it.
now. So when I walk out of this house, I'm walking out with a level of confidence. First of all, confidence in who I am in Christ. And second of all, confident that I am a beautiful single woman and
Yes.
that whoever God decides to send, he's going to get a good thing and he's going to get a whole lot of favor from the Lord. Let the church say amen. I need somebody to hit your like button right there, right there, right there. Because that right there, he gonna receive a whole lot of favor from the Lord. Praise the Lord. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now because y'all know me.
You better tell him what he getting, girl. Well, Elder Cheryl, Pastor Chris, if y'all did y'all want to add anything to that?
Yes, and I can just speak from experience. When I went through my divorce, because I was so happy to be married, and when I went through everything, and I was like, oh, I gotta be single again. How do I be single? How am I gonna make this be attractive? And I had to work on myself and go through that healing process to be whole. And so I think now I make being single look good. I mean, I'm confident, and I've been able to go back now, and I've accomplished so much. And that's the one thing a lot of singles need to realize, because I've been on both sides, that while you're single and you're in the process of waiting, enjoy it, because you right now don't have to answer to nobody. You don't have to answer to nobody. And you can just fulfill and go forth and do all these things on your own in your singleness.
Yes.
Learn to be happy in your singleness, because I thought that I couldn't be happy again single after being married. But God has shown me that yes, you can be happy. I'm gonna show you you can be happy. And so that's one of the main things about that you got to learn to be happy in your singleness and make it look good, because you can most definitely be confident in being single.
Yes, yes, I love it. I love it. Elder Cheryl, did you want to
I
add?
I totally agree. It's just a matter of what we are projecting. It's a
Right.
matter of how we see ourselves.
Yes.
And we have to, like you said, make it look good. Now, what happened in my life
Mhm.
is I had to stand on uh, the scripture that said what Paul said. I know how to be a base. I know how to be abound. I know, and I had to learn how to be content.
Right.
Not saying that I wasn't expecting, because people define content a different way, I guess. But for me, it was like I'm no longer going to allow my life to not matter
Right.
because I'm not married.
Right.
I'm not going to allow people, because I don't think people really realize when they walk up to you and say, "Why aren't you married yet? Are you seeing anyone? Oh, you're so beautiful. I just cannot believe." And I just look at them and be like, "Okay, do you really think this is encouraging to me? This is not encouraging." But I used to just sit there and go, "Oh well, I just don't know." We all did. We like, "Well,
Yeah.
I don't know,"
Right.
But now I just be like, I don't allow them to put that
Yeah.
on,
Right.
you know. And one time they was like, "Well, I can hook you up with so and so, so and so, and da da da." And I said, "Stop." I said, "Because this is not life to me." I said,
Mhm.
"This is draining me." So I think as singles, we need to know how to put the brakes on and say we don't have to listen,
Right.
to all of that. Because they have you so depressed. Uh, um, well, baby, how come, you know? And then one time, no, wait, somebody told me one time, they said, "Well, you just didn't pray right." So then, so there's a certain prayer. Well, I prayed. This lady said to me, she said, "Well, I prayed, and God blessed me." I was like, "So what you trying to say? My prayer didn't get up to God?" I put one lady said she put a suit by the bed, and then she got it. So you have to really watch what you hear and what you allow to come into your ear gate. And like I love what Jerry was saying. It's like I may say you look good, but you got to love you.
Yes. Yes.
And before God blesses you, we have this tremendous amount of time to love ourselves,
Yes.
to be our own cheerleader,
Mhm.
so that when someone does come into our life, we're not so thirsty, we're not so needy. Love me, help me, tell me I'm beautiful. No, look in the mirror right now and say, "You know what? I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm
Mhm.
accepted in the beloved." Oh,
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love this question from Miss McCoy. She says, "So what can we say to the mean wells that say, 'Why are you single?' Give us words to speak back." And I want to talk to that because I don't think it's words that you speak back. It's a knowing you have to have yourself. Because when you know who you are, when you know that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, that there is nothing wrong with you, that if marriage is something that you desire, that any man that approaches you will be blessed. And like Elder Sharon said, I am a blessing to any man that would get me. I will add to any man that will get me. I am a prize to any man that the Lord would gift with the gift of me. And so
amen.
when you know that and the mean wells come to you, you're not even worried or offended by that. The reason that offends us or offended me before was because I didn't know who I was before. I was trying to be who people told me I should be so that I could gain the attention of a man so that I could get married. I didn't know that I was a gift. I didn't know that I would be a blessing. I didn't know that I would be adding to his very life. Just my presence in his life would be adding to him. And so when God started helping me see me, and when he started helping me see who I was in him, then when people ask me that, then I could just smile and say, "Oh, God has not found somebody good enough yet for me."
Yeah,
God is cleaning him up so that he can be prepared for me because
you don't
I'm a
even have to
whole
know all
lot.
that.
I'm a whole
She
lot.
wants something to say. And the nicest thing to say, when you dismiss yourself from that conversation, because that conversation is not going to bring life to you.
Yeah.
I just, now, like, I love what everybody's saying. I am, that confidence that we have. And
Right.
basically now I just look at it and be like, you know what? Not my will, but God's will be done. And I know He's got me. And I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's
Yes,
my
ma'am.
take on that. My kids always tell me I got a scripture for everything. And so I might as well go ahead and go to the word.
Bring the word
And
in. Bring the word in.
the word says study to be quiet. So I won't be in my flesh when I talk to you. I'm just going to do what that word says, study to be quiet. And I just believe that the people that they probably mean well
Yes, they do.
and probably, want to have a genuine concern or what have you.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it would not be received well from a married person if I come back with the retort of, well, are you happy? So I figured maybe I
Don't say
just need
that.
to be quiet and that because that could be a mean well answer for Robin. Praise the Lord. That could be a mean well, but don't say that. Just use what the word says. And the word says study to be quiet with a smile on your face and and just and keep going and the fact that God tells us that we can have a confidence, not
Mhm.
an arrogance, not being conceited,
Right.
but we can have confidence because of who we are in the kingdom, because of who God has called us to be, and because of the gift that He has placed upon our lives. Then we can walk out and walk singleness through with confidence. And so when we are approached by those that mean well, then they will be able to back up and say, wait a minute, though, you still got that light. Wait a minute, though.
Mhm.
You still look like Matthew 5:16 that says, let your light so shine before men so that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Don't touch this right here because I'm going to have a scripture for you every single time. We're going to go to the word.
But people that are listening, that we're talking to, we want you to be encouraged within yourself.
Yes.
And you need to know you.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of spending this time trying to be, you know, with somebody else, get comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Because this confidence doesn't just come. I mean, Sharon and Pastor Chrissy, none of us just got this
No.
overnight.
No.
It's something that we had to walk in, and we had to allow God to
Yes.
say, "You're my daughter.
Yeah.
You're no less than because you're single."
Mm-hmm.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So from the very inception of we're talking to people that are just maybe getting to that point of contentment, getting to that point of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So we're taking you from been married, divorced, widow, pastor, divorced, now best-selling author, single. We're we are testimonies to
Mm-hmm.
say that you can be happy, you
Yeah.
can be fulfilled
Yeah.
in whatever season.
Yes.
Because truthfully, if you're not happy now, that man ain't gonna make you happy.
That's right. That's right.
No, not
You
at
gotta take
all.
responsibility for your own happiness
Right.
So, so
And I think
and
knowing
offering
that
that.
prepares you for it'll make you stop elevating, like, when I get married, then I'll be happy.
yeah.
It's almost like you're waiting for something, and that is too much pressure to put on
Exactly.
another person to make you happy. if you can't make you happy, you can't give that responsibility to someone else. You have to
Yeah.
find contentment. You have to find joy. You have to find peace in yourself. And that's an inside job. That's not
Yeah.
something anybody outside of you can do.
Yeah.
A man cannot do that. My brothers, a woman cannot do that for you. You have to find that with you and God. And so God has to show you who you are. He has to show you your worth. He has to show you that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. And then you have to believe it. After
Mhm.
he shows that to you, you have
Mhm.
to believe it. That if God says this about me, the maker of the heavens and earth, it must
Mhm.
be true. I
Yes.
really must be the apple of his eye. I
Mhm.
really must be formed, fit, and fashioned by God. I am
Mhm.
so important to him that I'm going to make myself important to me. And when I
Yes.
become important to me, then I am careful how other people handle me. If I know that God esteems me and I esteem myself, I am not going to give myself to someone else who does not esteem me. You got
Yeah.
to at least esteem me like I esteem me, or we cannot be coupled. We cannot be together. And I love that. Yes, Deborah Smiley, it's got to be safe. It's got to be
Yes.
a safe place for me. You've got to add to what I already have. I want someone to add to the happiness I already have. You can't be
Mhm.
miserable and then ask a man, ask a woman to make you happy. They can't do that for you. There's no person on the earth that can make you happy. Jesus makes you happy. If you ain't happy in Jesus, you won't be happy with Job. It just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work
Yeah.
like that. I know,
Yeah.
Pastor Chrissy, I didn't give you an opportunity to speak to that if you wanted to.
Oh no, oh no, it's fine. But as everyone was talking, I was just thinking about, with the singleness, and then, with wanting to be married, because I've been there, done that, because there's so much that happens after the dating, after
Mhm.
the engagement, after the beautiful wedding and the reception and the honeymoon. There's so much more that's there. And if you're not, and people look at all that and they just adore it, but there's just so much that goes with it. So in the single process, like you say, you got to have that confidence and know who you are. Because when you get in a relationship with someone, if you get connected with the wrong person, it can pull you down, and it can take away some things that you even built up for yourself. So you got to be so careful. And I say all the time, just listen to God's voice, because we can, even in our singleness and even in trying to date, you can have chemistry with a lot of people and they not be the one for
Mhm.
you, and it not be and not be the one that God has for you. And so it's just about finding yourself and being complete in God. That's the main thing, being complete in God, and not saying that, oh, I need a man or a woman to complete me. You need to be complete in God first, so that
First.
whoever God brings into your life, it's going to complement it, and it's going to be a part of your purpose and your destiny.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Right. I think
Yes,
a lot of times we lose ourselves because of the hurts that we have been through. It is trying to fill a void that only God will be able to fill.
right.
Mhm.
And sometimes, we have an expectation for someone else to fill that void, and that's not their position, that's not their job.
Right.
That is something that you have to, go to God about. And I think that Robin asked what was the root of all of this. And, the root is that a lot of times when we are single, and we are in the church, we are kind of pushed to the side, or we are kind of sent into the singles ministry and kind of left alone. And um and we just expected to stay in the singles ministry until Boaz come, when most of the time we meet Bozo before we meet Boaz. And and so what happens then? And so we are so busy trying to fill that void, and the root of it is when we cannot make singleness look beautiful, that's because we got to do some work within ourselves.
Mhm.
We got to
True.
make sure that we look on the inner parts of our own selves and spend that time with God to make sure that we are not bleeding on the one that comes into our lives.
Yes.
You know, we can't be found because we're not hid. We too busy out there trying to show everything.
Yeah.
Too busy trying to, like, oh, that's my boo. That's going to be my boo. No, you need to be hid in your word, hid in Christ, hid in your prayer time. And I'm not saying that you got to just be 24 hours, 7 days a week on your knees praying and talking to God in tongues. And I'm not saying that you need to walk up to a man and just automatically start speaking in tongues because he going to think you crazy.
Crazy.
But
You will not be with
but
him.
you got to be healed within yourself
Yes.
and understand that and spend that time with God, spend that time with yourself. Do you make yourself laugh? Do you
Yeah.
make yourself smile?
Yes.
Do you take yourself out to dinner? Do you make sure that you treat yourself well? Because
Yes.
that is something that you need to do first. Because how do you know what you like if you never try some different things? Stop going to Popeyes getting a chicken sandwich all the time and try to go to a very nice restaurant. Okay, look, yeah, okay, I'm gonna
No,
stop.
but what she's saying is so powerful because
Yes.
you're going to attract,
Yes.
who you are.
Yes.
The
Mhm.
only reason Bozo keep coming is because you thirsty and desperate, and
Yeah.
Bozo smells desperation.
Mhm.
But you
Yes.
really, and we're not telling you stuff that we have not done, and we're not telling you stuff that we're not doing. But we have been single, like you said, on both sides, and now it's like, I'll just say it like this: we have to take that idol down.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Being single or being married, oh, I just got to get married. If I get married, this is going to happen. That can
Yeah.
become an idol. And
Yeah.
I know that it was that in my life.
Right.
I'm in Paris. I'm traveling the world internationally. I'm everywhere. But in
Mhm.
the back of my mind, I would still say, well, I'm not married.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So the enemy could trump me with that. Okay,
Right.
yeah, you international, yeah, you Miss Investments, yes, you recording artist, but you ain't married.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I had to clap back at that.
All right,
Yeah.
clap back.
And I and
Clap back.
but here's the deal. I remember I was telling you about the song that I wrote, and I was
Yes.
going in on
Mhm.
God. This should have happened in my 20s. And how come, and it didn't happen in my 30s? And how come this, and all of these people did that? I was going in.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, what I didn't realize was I said to God, you've given me all of this, but you still have not given me a good husband.
Yeah.
Right.
And so why would you give me all this and not give me that?
Mhm.
Because when I get that, I'm going to have everything.
Yeah.
And God, the Holy Spirit was like, I can't give that to you
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because you can be terribly disappointed because answer is not just marriage. Marriage is not the cure all end all. And if
Right.
you're not going to reach for anything other than that, then I'm gonna have to cast that idol down.
Mhm.
Y'all follow me? Because in my mind, that I had everything else.
Mhm.
I never wanted 5 children, but I at least wanted the opportunity to have one,
Mhm. Right. Right.
maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you see what I'm saying? So it's the mentality that God is coming after.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
how
Yes.
we see ourselves. Like,
True.
these ladies have so profoundly stated about the confidence. And it's about what we feel like they deserve.
Mhm.
So if you've been single for a long time, you may feel like, well, nobody wants me. We're coming after that spirit that says there's
Yeah.
something wrong with you.
Right.
It's not, you know. So say
Absolutely.
amen to yourself. Throw up the heart and say, you know what? I'm fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it was either Cheryl or Sharon said this. And what I want you to know is it's not going to happen overnight. Like you're not going to
Mhm.
say that to if you're in a place where you are struggling with that. Just watching tonight's show won't make you be fully confident on tomorrow. It's going to be a process, and that's something
Yes.
that God is going to walk you with or walk you through. It'll be being in His face. God, show me who I am, so that I will know who I am, and that I won't be able to be tossed by the opinions of other people. I need to hear from you. How do
Yeah.
you see me? Please, Jesus, affirm me so that I'm not
Yes.
looking for affirmation from other people. Because, God, if
Mhm.
you affirm me, then I know that your word is true, that heaven and earth will pass away, but your word will stand forever. So, if God, if I could ever get your affirmation, then I can
Come
stop
on,
clawing
preacher.
after it
All
from other
right.
people.
Right.
And that's where God had to take me. God, show me me. I'm tired of asking other people who
Other
I am.
people.
Right.
I'm
Yes,
tired of trying
yes.
to
Yes.
get other people to affirm me. But once God
Yes.
affirmed me, I didn't care what anybody else said about me. I'm like, the maker of the world says I am beautiful. He says that I
Yes.
am wonderful. I am fearfully and
Yes.
wonderfully made. I am the apple of his eye. Then it doesn't matter what other people say, and I can stand in that assurance. I cannot be shaken from that assurance.
Right.
So when you
Mhm.
start developing that conversation with God, God, I'm struggling today. I'm listening to other people today. I need you to shore up my confidence. And so when
Yeah.
I get my esteem from God, is what I call God esteem. When I'm looking to Him, God, you affirm me today. I'm feeling a little weak. I'm feeling a little hurt by what so and
Right.
so said. I need you to
Right.
come up and stand up in me so that I'm not, shaken by the way they looked at me. They asked me, was I married again? Jesus, don't let me go off. Lord, I need you to help
That
me
right
stand up
there.
in that. I am still fearfully and wonderfully made. Help me still stand up in that. And so it's going to be a process of going through this. All of us that you see here now, we are standing confidently now, but we weren't always confident in who
Mhm.
God called us to be. And we can talk about, how whoever gets us now is going to be highly favored of the Lord. That wasn't always that way, but God
Yeah.
built that up in us through
Right.
heartbreak. I'm just gonna be
Mhm.
100
Yes.
heartbreak, like looking around like what? Jesus,
Yes.
you got some splaining to do. Hold on.
Yes.
I, I have
Yes.
had many come to Jesus meetings with the Lord. Like, okay,
Yes.
um, I am living all I know how to be pleasing in your sight. I need you to either work whatever is in me out of me so that I can
Yeah.
see you clearly, or I need you to put something in me so that I'm not swayed, I'm not tossed by that I can really stand true in who I am, and that I cannot just say that I love me, but I
Mhm.
can really love me. That I cannot
Yes.
just say all the things I'm 50 and wonderfully made, because I hear a whole lot of people saying that, but they don't believe it. That's why I said
That's
when God
right.
shows you, you got to believe it.
You
And
got
so
Absolutely.
put it
Believe
so
it.
in me, God, that I know it. I know who I am in you. Whether other people accept me or not, I know who I am in you. And I don't see their rejection of me as their rejection of me. That is their rejection of their perception of who I am because they
Correct.
don't know me.
Mhm.
And so I
Mhm.
don't even get offended. Oh, okay. You don't even know me. That's why you reject me because you don't know me. Because God didn't reveal to you who I really am. And
Mhm.
so I don't want anybody to feel like you gotta have this like tomorrow you're gonna be jumping over, leaps and bounds. Let
Yeah.
God work that good work in you. Let him work that good work in you. Okay, I want to jump to another question. We talked about how the church may see singles and how we're trying to navigate this space. How do you think churches can better handle or support, maybe a better word, um, Christians or single Christians in the church? How do we want to be treated? How would we like to be approached? How would we like to be handled? What's a better way for that to happen? Anybody jump in? Go ahead, Elder.
Woo, Lord, that's a fiery question right there. Um, I think for me is, when I'm at the church, because I think all of us, all four of us face not only just being a part of the church, but each of us are also in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And that's a very tough place to be because of the mere fact, especially when you're a single female. If you single males don't have an issue when they're in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
As far as being out there, being able to do what they're called and gifted to do. But when it comes to single females in ministry, sometimes we have that difficult time of trying to just really get through that door. And I know that God opens those doors for us, but sometimes this kind of stuff that we have to endure just to just for them to say that, okay, this is God, is atrocious to me. But I think one of the things that I would like is that when you see me and you know that I'm a single female, for one, try to get to know who I am.
Yeah.
Don't just assume, and don't
Right.
don't take it from the perspective that I'm just a single female and I'm just waiting on a man to come in my life.
Mm.
All singles are not desperate. All
True.
singles
That's
are
true.
not
Mm-mm.
sitting here twiddling their thumb and waiting for somebody to drop down to one knee and put a ring on it. You know, and so I think, get to know me, get to know who I am, not just from a church perspective, because
Right.
that thing kind of that weighs on me too.
Hmm.
Don't just get to know me from a church perspective, get to know me from a human perspective.
Yes.
Mhm.
Understand that I make mistakes.
Yes.
Understands that I may say something out the pocket. hmm Understand. Look, that's just my transparent moment. Understand that I still like to do fun things as well. I don't want to just be at the church with a skirt down below my ankles for
Yeah.
24 hours, 7 days a week. That there is more to me
Right.
than pushing me into singles ministry where everybody is looking around at the two men that are sitting in there that
Two.
decide to show up, because it's
Two.
only
Mhm.
two,
The two brave
and the
soldiers.
rest of them not coming because they're at Dave and Buster's, or they're at a fine dining restaurant, or they're doing things so I just want people to know that it's okay to talk to singles and not just put them in a box. I'm,
That's
I-
true.
Right.
we should not be put in a box. I guess I go back to Dirty Dancing where it says nobody puts baby in a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's the thing that I'm looking for. And don't look at us when we come out as bold and confident. Don't look at us as just stuck up and arrogant, or don't look at us as wanting your husband. Oh,
Right.
that's a whole nother conversation right there.
Cause
Because
see,
all singles are not after your husband. We
Exactly.
Amen.
have respect for
Exactly.
ourselves. We have
yes,
respect for the call that is up on our lives. And the
yes,
same way that you love God, we love God even more,
yes.
because we don't have to attend to the man like you
Mm-mm.
do. We attend straight to God. So all singles are not out here after just a man, and they're not out after husbands. And
Mm-mm.
That's
so
Amen.
get
No,
to
ma'am.
know me, get to know who I am, not just what you see on the outside, but get to know me from the inside.
I
mm-hmm.
I
agree.
love it. I
Yes.
love it. I
That's
That's
love
good.
it.
good.
That's good.
And if I could just add to that, yes, just being treated like a person, because I notice with a lot of us women who are single in ministry, they do think that we could that we're very arrogant and that we feel a certain way. And I think a lot of the men think sometimes too that, oh, they don't want to be married. But that's not the case. We're just trying to walk in our calling of what God has called us to do.
Yes.
And so and because I have most definitely seen that in a lot of churches, and the single women of God are looked at in a certain way. They're looked at a little bit differently. But I want to just be seen as a person.
Yes.
I want to be seen far and foremost as a woman of God, an anointed woman of God, and a woman that was chosen by God to
Yes.
fulfill her purpose while she's on this earth.
Absolutely. Yes. I love
Absolutely.
it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's good. I just think that the church could do a better job at including the singles.
Yes.
I think they can do a better job. Uh, if you can do married, bereavement, you can do something other than put us over the singles ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Right.
technically, like I was saying, you just singles ministry, you can just grab a couple of your girlfriends and go to Dave and Buster's
Yeah.
and be more, more successful. Uh, but I think we need to be seen
Mm-hmm.
as whole people.
Right.
So that means we have to present ourselves as a whole person.
Yes. Yes.
And when they see us, they see nothing broken,
Right.
nothing missing.
Yes.
And I'm not just living my life waiting on a husband.
Absolutely.
I ain't got no trouble with the wealthy, good looking entrepreneur that God's gonna bless me with. I don't have
Call
Hallelujah.
it out. Call it out.
Distance.
but I'm saying I think here's the issue.
Mm-hmm.
I went for a job interview. I didn't want to. I was just tired of the job I was on.
Mm-hmm.
There was this worship leader position in Missouri somewhere where it's real cold. But I went.
Mm-hmm.
They treated me so nice. And then when they found out I wasn't married, she's like, your children will go here and I said, well, I'm not married. Interview over. They flew me out first class. I went back home. Then the
Wow.
head coach.
Wow.
But a friend of mine, a male friend who is single and still single, they hired him. So he done
Wow.
got hired. I mean, so in ministry,
Right.
I can't travel with you if you're, because I'm single.
Yes.
They don't want to hire us and
Mm-hmm.
put us in positions in the church.
Right.
They don't say it,
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
but you don't
Right.
see us head
But your actions.
Right.
Right.
exactly.
Right. Right.
So I would like for the church. I love that. I want them to see us as as vital. I mean, our tithes is just as big as as the married people. I mean, we are Black women, but
Mm-hmm.
I want to add this, and y'all get mad. Don't get mad at me. We as strong Black women
Mm-hmm.
have to know when that strong side
Right.
is necessary
Yes.
Yes.
and when that softer side,
Mm-hmm.
not pushed over, but you ain't got to. I'm the national evangelist, and I got this much anointing as you do.
Mm-hmm.
No, we have got to be able to be balanced. And
Yes.
I just keep hearing what you all were saying. We want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at first we're women first.
Yes.
We're daughters of God first. I
Yes.
told the Lord, I said, ain't nobody, we didn't ask to be the national evangelist or the mother or the pastor. We
Mm-mm.
didn't ask for that.
Right. Right.
I was like, so, when people look at us and be like, oh, she a preacher, she this and the other, to holla. We did not stand in the line and say, God, we want. You see
What?
what I'm saying?
What?
So we have to be cognizant of who we are. And
Right.
I'll tell you something funny right quick. One time I had a flat tire and I called one of the worship leaders, one of them hills. He said he can't come. because I'm single. I said, you gonna leave me on the side of the road. I said, bring your wife with you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you. I
Right.
need my time.
That right there,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's all
And
I
and just when you said that, my heart hurt a little bit. Just be
Yeah,
just because that was even a thought. Not that the thought was that my sister is on the side of the road
right,
and needs me.
right,
Like you said, baby, there's a Cheryl on the side of the road. We need to go help her.
need. Right.
right.
That shouldn't even, to me, that shouldn't even have been a consideration, a thought behind it. But it was because he said it, and I know he meant it because he said
Yeah.
it. But
And so we can't be moved by that.
right,
And
But
so
could
my
but
response
could
was
that have
bring
been
her.
something within him?
Exactly. And I'm like, bring her, bring the children. I just need the time so I can
absolutely,
get out the side of the road.
Exactly. Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and
Yeah.
and I love what you all have been saying about we just don't want to be invisible.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking for anything that you don't see in every other population or member group in the church. We're just
Yeah.
asking you to see us, and I love how you said that, Cheryl. See us as whole,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
not that we are lacking or missing anything because we're not married. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I don't know, and I really don't believe it is their intention, but sometimes the way they position us is until you're married, you're lacking and you're missing something. And
Exactly.
so I know it is not their intention, but it is definitely something that we feel that may be projected. And so see us, see us.
Mhm.
And when you see us as help,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
because that's what we are to you. We are help. We are not trying to take anything away from anybody. We are gifted, we are anointed, and we want you to see us as such, as help, as someone that can add to what the body of Christ is. And when you're and I want to say this because I've been in several singles ministries, and from a mega church singles ministry to a smaller church singles ministry. And what I noticed was the foundation for most of those ministries were coupling. And so in my mindset, it was like, is that all single ministry is going to be about? Is introducing people to members of the opposite sex for the benefit of marriage? I I need to learn how to build this big business. I need to learn how to
Mhm.
manage my finances. I need to learn how I can buy this house. I need to learn that I can enjoy my life and I can travel the world and I can have fun. Can it be something other than prep for marriage? Like all the singles class is gonna be about let's prepare you for your Boaz. Why I don't see very many classes preparing men for their roof. But anyway, that's another
Say it again.
Look,
t- tell me how
either
many you
that one
seen.
or look, either that one, Cheryl, or they gonna preach from First Corinthians chapter number 6 about flee fornication. One
All
of the
day.
two.
Everybody ain't swinging from the chandelier.
All day.
Everybody's
It's
not trying to swing from the chandelier. No.
sex is not the only thing that is sex is not the only benefit of marriage.
Well,
Right.
are
Tell me
you
another
sure?
benefit outside of just, sex. Is that
Are you
all we gonna get
sure?
is sex?
Are
I
you
mean,
sure?
that's it.
She
Because
said, "Are you
they so
sure?"
busy telling us to abstain, don't do this, uh, you can't have this, and you have to wait until you marry. And you sitting there going, like, I agree with you. Can you tell me, how to get my business off the ground? Can you tell me how to write a business plan to get a grant? Um, I agree with that totally. And that
Yes.
goes back to, I just keep hearing, see me,
Hmm.
see me.
Yes. 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 And
Right.
I see a comment. It says, and I want you all to tell me how you all feel about this. It says, married women are insecure because they are not as strong as you are.
In some cases.
And that I don't know whether it's the fact that they're not strong like we are. I think that a lot of time the insecurity comes from hurt because there may have been something that has transpired within that relationship.
Hmm.
There is something that may have transpired even in their past
Okay.
that they did not deal with. And let me just put this out there. I think that a lot of us need to go lay on somebody's couch and,
Get some counseling.
sure,
Yep.
no, we do have God, but we need to go and lay on somebody's couch, and we need a therapist, and we need
Hmm.
a counselor, and it's not always somebody that's just going to give you from Genesis to Revelations.
Right.
It is somebody that needs to be able to give you some real hardcore truths
Yes.
about the hurt that you have endured, and
Yes.
that you are going to have to realize that you have not forgiven
Yes.
people that have been in your past.
Mhm.
Because if you don't deal with that root of unforgiveness, you're just going to take that to the next relationship.
Absolutely.
And when you take that to the next relationship, you're going to find yourself in doing the same thing,
Yeah.
expecting different results. And that's the definition of insanity. And so, what you need to do is make sure that you go get some help. It is okay,
Yes.
because I know I'm like Cheryl, let's debunk that myth that
Hmm.
we cannot go and get help. We need to debunk the myth that we just spin around 3 times, slap our neighbors 3 times, and run around the church 5 times, and it's going to be okay. No, you need to go get some help. Lay
Yes.
on somebody's couch. Let somebody pour into you. Stop picking up your phone at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning trying to help everybody else when you're bleeding all over the place
Mm.
yourself. You need to thine own self be
Be
true
true.
and
Yes.
go and get you some help yourself, because you though you want to go out and walk in your calling, you have been so hurt and now you're damaged. And the
Yes.
reason that we can have this conversation the way that we are having this conversation is because we went and did the work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because you have to do
Yes.
the work.
Mhm.
And the work is reading your word. The work is going to get therapy. The
Yeah.
work is
Yes.
finding out who you are. The work is telling yourself some truths that I have a root of bitterness,
Yes.
that I'm
Yes.
still bitter against that person that I dated 10 years ago
Yes.
because he didn't call me at 7 o'clock. He waited to 7:30 to call me, and I'm still bitter over it.
Right. Right.
So so we got to make sure that we look within ourselves. We can't just say that the other person is insecure. Yeah, the wife may have some insecurity, but what's the root of that insecurity?
Right.
Could it be that
Right.
she just came from an abusive moment? Could it be that she just had the worst argument in her life? Could it be that no longer does he look at her as sexy anymore? That he's looking over the fence, just like the character was in Home Improvement? Could it be that there's some more that's rooted in that?
Right.
Right.
So we have to also be able to step back and put ourselves sometimes in their shoes and
Right.
see what's going on.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
That's my
That's
two
good.
cents.
I love that. The root of that insecurity. And
Yeah,
therapy is your friend.
it
Yes.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just
is.
put it, therapy is your friend, because like Elder Sharon said, a lot of times we try to shout over stuff. We
Yes.
try to dance over stuff that we won't confront. And God cannot heal what you will not confront, what you
Right.
keep
Correct.
dismissing and you keep putting to the side and pretending like it didn't matter, pretending like it didn't hurt. And like she said, if you don't heal it, then that's going to trail. They call it taking baggage from one relationship to the next
Correct.
relationship. And the person that suffers is not just the person in the relationship, you suffer too. And so
Yeah.
until you do the work, get healed, get whole, all of that stuff is going to continue to bleed over. And so I want to ask this last question for tonight. It's been mentioned that all of us are women in ministry. And so, how difficult is it to be in ministry and be single, not and still desire marriage? How is it easy? Or, and I'll just put the question: is it easy or is it difficult to date as a person in ministry?
Pastor Chrissy, we'll let you have this
And that's
first.
who I was gonna call too. Go ahead, Pastor Chris.
Why? Why me first?
Because
Cause
you
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 the
are
most reasonable.
pastoring.
Look, you're the
Huh?
most reasonable of all of us.
I mean, I can really it. You know what? It's not as easy as it really isn't, because I think sometimes just being a woman in ministry can be intimidating to a lot of men for
Mm-hmm.
some reason. And I'm just gonna be honest, because I could talk about myself. I I've been in church all my life, and I
Mm-hmm.
always wondered why, for me, I never really got the men that were in church that found me of interest
Mm-hmm.
for whatever the reason. The
Right.
guys that find me interesting are the guys that don't go to church all the time.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
And those are the ones that want to date me.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the ones that want to give me the gift of a child.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are the men that I'm getting. I just recently had, for the first time ever, a pastor
Mm-hmm.
said that he wanted to date me.
Mm-hmm.
And I just literally thought, I mean, I was like, what? Wait, because it shocked me. And why would
Right.
that shock me?
Right.
Because I'm a woman of God and I've been in church all my life. But that's the biggest issue that I have. I don't get a lot of, and even right now, I don't get a lot of the men that are in church that are interested in me. It's the ones outside of church that are interested in me. They actually respect the fact that I am a woman of
Respect.
God.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's been a little different for me, and I don't know if any of you ladies have experienced that too. But I really, and maybe it's just where I live. I'm in Ocala, Florida. Ocala, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
So so I don't know if it's just around here, because I've already been told, girl, you're gonna have to expand. You're gonna have to go to Atlanta. You're gonna have to go somewhere. You got to move
Don't go
outside.
to Atlanta.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
No, don't go.
I'm an ATL girl. I don't know.
Don't go to
Mm-mm.
Atlanta.
Cause
Don't go there.
I'm coming to Ocala.
There's too many suspects and too many.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Don't go. Go somewhere
Go a little safer.
else.
Oh Lord.
I'm gonna need y'all to leave my city alone, though. Come on now.
But you know
Come
we telling the
on.
truth.
But I think it's challenging. Just give the example. If we're very visible, which pastor is very visible. I'm an elder at my church, so I'm very visible. I got a seat on the front. I mean, you can count. I'm bam,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm the pastor's extend. I'm her extension. So all of us as
Mm-hmm.
elders and ministers. So we're shaking people's hands when we could, welcome them into the church and doing. I'm praying for you at the altar. So it's kind of hard in my mind
Right.
for somebody to walk up to me after I've been so visible
Mm-hmm.
through the whole entire service.
Mm-hmm.
Now my face all up on the camera, for them to walk up to me after church and say, "Hey, would you like to go to Starbucks?"
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I was told by a wise gentleman that when it's the right one, or when he's a manly man,
Right.
it won't matter. He will
Right.
walk up to you and have a conversation
Mm-hmm.
and not issue Starbucks, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
so I think it's challenging,
Mm-hmm.
but I want us to see ourselves as women
Mm-hmm.
first,
Right.
so we can say, hello. We don't have to always. I love Elder Sharon is like, just call me Sharon. You ain't got to call me Missionary Cyril,
Mm-mm.
Evangelist International. Call me Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, but it is challenging, and especially because all of us are so visible,
Mm-hmm.
in the church, and so it may take you seeing brother man who's hanging around and too scared to say something.
Mm-hmm.
Walk your little happy self, your confident self, over and say, "Hello, praise the Lord. Are you visiting? I haven't seen you. Hi, my name's Cheryl. What's yours?"
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And
Oh,
see, and I just want to
all
add,
right,
I want
Ruth.
to add this too. Um, while we're working on ourselves, this is a transparent moment. In that same time where I was just going in on God, you don't love me. How come you haven't given me this? Da da da. I came, I was sitting on my couch and I came to this conclusion. Don't have another tear
Mm-hmm.
to cry
Right.
over this situation.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make a conscious decision.
Right.
I said, I don't have another tear.
Right.
I'm not giving you
Mm-mm.
another day. And that's when I wrote the song, Trust Me,
Mm-hmm.
because I had to it was either this or I'm going to continue to have this elephant in the room following me,
Right.
thinking I'm less than because I'm single.
Right.
And like I was telling you, ain't nothing like traveling and being the guest and being celebrated, and you the only single person in the room,
Mm-hmm.
but they
Yeah.
honoring you.
Yes.
So I want us to leave this conversation saying, I don't have another tear to
Mm-hmm.
cry over that. I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love who God made me. I'm going to realize that everybody's life is different.
Right.
Everybody's road is different.
Absolutely.
And if God has not blessed me with that husband yet, then he had another plan.
Right.
Now, another transparent moment. I said, can you look and you, y'all know how silly I am. I said this to God. I said, well, can I just see what's in the book? I
Mm-hmm.
want to see what you had planned.
Mm-hmm.
Because if this marriage thing is not in my future,
Mm-hmm.
I want to not desire.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to give up. I was giving him the opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to tell me to give up. And I said, let me see what you had planned in there for my life so I can move on.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I would love to culminate this conversation tonight with. You are loved, love thyself, know that God uh, is there. He chose us. We didn't choose ourselves
Right.
because all of us, everybody that's on here, you're beautiful and
Yes.
you have to know that and you
Absolutely.
have to walk in that and not be afraid to be a woman, not a woman in ministry,
Mm-hmm.
a woman
Right.
who just happens to be in ministry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's the thing. I think for me, okay, I had to get that laugh out because I had some other
Got a
thoughts that
flashback.
went past me. Um, so I think for me and being able to travel and do ministry, it was definitely challenging. And it was not always challenging
Mhm.
for where somebody else made it challenging for me. I may have made it challenging for
For
myself
myself.
Right.
because, sometimes as traveling as a single female, And especially after you have ministered and you're preaching, as my grandmother used to say, your pores are open. Mm-hmm. Your, your pores are open, and so somebody just kind of smile at you. You be like, oh, hey. Yes, you are fearfully and wonderfully made by God. Thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah. But you have to run quick to the hotel.
Mhm.
Run. Don't walk. Run, because at that particular juncture, you have just poured out, and you have just poured out to the people, and now you're empty, and you're vulnerable. And I think that's one of the things that some singles are not accustomed to. When you finish ministering, you can become a little vulnerable, because you want somebody to come tap you on the shoulder, rub your shoulder, you know get you some hot tea, some throat coat, and everything like that. And so there are times that it is challenging in
Right.
that aspect, but it's a daily walk. It is a
Yes.
daily walk. It is not, just, oh, I got this under the bag. I'm cool
No.
with this, so on and so forth. No, you have to walk this out daily. I tell
Daily.
my friends all the time, I said, I have manna for the day. That's
Mhm.
all I have. I
Yes.
don't go to I don't go to tomorrow. I don't go back to yesterday. I have manna for the day. That's what God commanded. When he gave the Israelites the command, he said, take only the manna that you need for the day.
Yes.
Then he backed it up when he taught the disciples to pray. He said, give us this day
This day.
our
Yes.
daily bread. And
Yes.
so we have to take this day by day. And I just want to say to my single women that are listening and that will listen, to this conversation, because we're just letting y'all in on our conversation. Uh, but I want you to stay encouraged, and don't beat yourself up.
Right.
Yes, you're gonna make some mistakes along this single journey.
Yes.
Yes, you're gonna meet some bozos along the way.
Mhm.
Yes, you probably are not looking like Ruth right now. You're probably Naomi, said, "Call me bitter." So you may be there right now, but
Right.
take each day and
Yes.
allow God to do it in you every day. And don't get discouraged. I said giving up is not an option.
Not an
Right.
Don't
option.
give up. Don't give in. Don't look down on yourself, and take all those negative words about yourself out of your vocabulary. Begin
Absolutely.
to say sweet, whisper your own sweet nothings
Mhm.
in your ear.
Yes.
Cause I be in my mirror going, girl, you so fine. Oh, girl, have mercy. I think I'm gonna take you on a date. And I go to Texas Roadhouse and sit at the bar and meet somebody that's probably not in the church, but I still have a good conversation.
Right.
Right?
I still have a wonderful conversation. And I'm gonna be like Cheryl. I just got one transparent moment. I did take myself to Texas Roadhouse one time, and I went and sat at the bar. And don't y'all be sending me no messages and messages about, oh, I can't believe the elder was at the bar. Oh, what was she doing at the bar? Was she having a drink at the bar? Don't y'all send me no messages, because I still got a part of me that's being delivered. But anyway, so I was sitting there at the bar minding my own business, and then all of a sudden this guy says, "Is this seat taken?" And I said, no. He said, well, I'm just waiting on somebody right now. And I said, okay, that's no problem. Have a seat. And he sits down and he commences to talk to me. Now, mind y'all, this was one of our Caucasian brothers, big dude.
Mhm.
And he says, you're mighty beautiful there, young lady. And I said, well, I sure do. Thank you. Next thing I know, he was telling me that he was Willie Nelson's cousin and that he wanted to take me out.
All right
And I
now.
said, well, I've always wanted to learn how to do the two-step. So,
Oh my goodness.
so I'm just telling y'all, have fun.
Yes.
Enjoy life. Don't beat yourself up just because you're not married yet.
Yeah.
God
Right.
says that's what it's going to be, then He's going to make a way. It's going to
Yes.
happen. But
Yep.
at the same time, have fun. Get
Yes.
your therapy. Get you some good girlfriends like Cheryl, Chrissy, and Cheryl, like I got, and like my best friend Robin. Get you some good girlfriends that you could chill with, that you could be yourself with.
Yes.
I let my hair down tonight because I knew I could be real with my girlfriends.
Yes.
Praise
Yes.
the Lord. So
Yes.
I love y'all.
And don't be discouraged too. I'll let Pastor Chrissy, because your husband or who God is sending, you can't look at in the church. And let me justify that. If you're in a family church and everybody in there is married, but you either need to pray God send them in from out of town, let them transfer their job. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I've been in family churches where everybody married.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I mean by you can't just look at your how would I say that, Cheryl? Just your current surroundings.
Your current circle.
Yeah.
You may have to venture out of the circle
Yeah.
that you are
Yeah.
in, and don't
Yeah.
limit who God sends you to, who you currently know, or who
Yeah.
you know.
Right.
It might be somebody that is outside of that circle of influence that you currently have.
That's
Absolutely.
thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And if I could just add too, and for all of the singles, I actually just was told this on Saturday. Don't shrink back.
Right.
So whatever you've been building, all your success, because I used to tell myself that, well, maybe I need to stop doing this because I started working on a doctorate's degree. Well, maybe you need to stop doing all these things because if you build too much, it's gonna intimidate a man. And so someone had to just, they spoke into my life and they said, don't shrink back. Because whoever God has for you, whatever you went out there for our singles, whatever you've achieved, they're gonna be okay with it.
Yes.
And
Correct.
also get outside the box. Because I had one other young lady say to me, what if your future husband is white? What if he's white?
Might
And
be.
for me, I don't care because I got a lot of Spanish friends, I got a lot of white friends,
Mm-hmm.
and so I guess you got to just look outside the box because whatever God's gonna have for you, it's gonna line up with your destiny. And sometimes we can be
Right.
so narrow-minded in how we see it, but
Mm-hmm.
God is
Yeah.
trying to take you outside of that box that you've always been so used to.
That's
So
good.
don't shrink back. Don't shrink back. Expand.
Yes.
Expand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. I like that.
Yes.
I might have to take that. I'll give you credit for it this time.
Expand.
Expand the possibilities. Be okay
Yeah.
with because God knows your desires. God already knows
Yeah.
what you like, but He also knows what you need.
Yes.
And I believe that He's okay with marrying the two, what you like
Oh yeah.
and what you
Yeah.
need. And so that's my prayer. God, give me what I like and what I need in one man. What I like and what I need in one man.
Absolutely.
And open my eyes.
Yes.
Because like you said, I mean, expand.
Yes.
Expand.
Yeah. Let me see Him. Let me be able to receive Him. But
Mhm.
until He comes, help me be happy, vibrant, loving my life, living the fullness of who you call me to be. Sort of like Pastor Chrissy said, I'm not going to shrink who I am. I'm not going to shrink
Right.
who He's called me to be, because the man that God has called to walk alongside you can handle all of who you are, all of who God has
Including
called
hot
you to be.
flashes.
Say it again.
Including hot flashes. Praise the
Including
Lord.
the whole of it. Everything that concerns you, He can handle it. He is he's born for it. He's
Yeah.
born for you, and he can handle it. God's not slack concerning his promise. He's gonna give you just what you need, just what you want, and the man that can handle everything that comes with you. And your prayer is that you can handle everything that comes with him. That it is not a lopsided arrangement that we're looking for. That just as I am expecting him to be a blessing to me, I am expecting to be a blessing to him as well.
Amen.
Our
Yeah.
coming together will be a blessing on both sides. We will both be blessed by the union. Well, I thank you all so much for joining me on this evening. Y'all can see now, and everybody that's familiar with Church Girl Chats is like, oh, she went long tonight. They told me I could not do 30 minutes. I'm going to tell on all
No,
of
we
them.
could.
No,
They
we
told me
couldn't
we
do
could
30
not.
minutes. Y'all send some hearts. If you love this, y'all send some hearts and tell Cheryl how great she did. So make
Yeah.
sure y'all get as many hearts as you possibly can to let her know, and put
Yes.
every comment in the chat to let her know that this was a great forum.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing them. I'm seeing them.
30 minutes would not have done justice tonight. It could not.
Well, I thank you all so much for joining me on this evening. I love you all with the love of the Lord. And I want to make sure that before we leave, that you are aware of the projects that these wonderful ladies have, so that you can absolutely make yourselves available to them. And I'm going to let's see, I'm going to put it up here so you can see it, and I'm going to put it in her little. Elder Cheryl has a project out called My Testimony. You can get that on her website. So be sure to go to her website at cherylbox.com. I want you to go get it. And I'm going to put that in her box so y'all can see it. Get that project. The song you mentioned is on that project, right, Elder Cheryl?
Yes, it's called Trust Me.
Trust me, for all of y'all that are needing to trust God, that he's going to bring you exactly what you need when you need it. Make sure that you go and grab that from her.
And
And
they can
then,
download it it can be
okay,
downloaded on all digital platforms.
okay, so head on over to iTunes, CD
iTunes,
Baby,
Spotify, everywhere.
Spotify, and grab that. You can see Elder Sharon's book, Giving Up is Not an Option. If you want to get that, I need you to email her at info@slgrantministries.com to make sure that you can get that from her. So don't delay, saints of God. Don't, let's sell these ladies out with their projects. Make sure that you make them happy that they are here on this evening. And then we have Pastor Chrissy that has her new book out. Woo woo! A little inspiration with a warm cup of tea. Make sure that you go get that, and that is sold on Amazon.com. So make sure that you support these wonderful women. Thank you so much, Delia. She said this was my first time and she loved it. Carol Oates says this was a great forum. David Smith says good job, Cheryl and others. Then we had Naja says great forum. Deborah Smiley Morris says great forum. And then we had Pastor Bivens saying that he enjoyed us. And all this is all I want y'all to do for me. The Lord allowed me to start a YouTube channel. It's exclusively for single Christian women. And you can go to youtube.com/Cheryl Thomas Speaks. And I do this every week on that forum. So do me a favor, go over there and watch some of those videos. I only want you to subscribe if you want to, if you think the content there is worth subscribing to. But do go check it out, watch a couple of videos, invite your friends to do the same. Thank you all so much for hanging with us for this hour and a half that we have been here. Praise the Lord. And if you all want to see us do another segment, we've been thinking behind the scenes on another juicy segment that I think you would love, that you would love, love, love.
Yes.
Talking about what singles ministries always want to talk about is sex. How you
Sex.
how, how you keep yourself holy and pure before the Lord while you wait.
Ooh.
So you're not waiting at Bozo house.
Ooh.
Ah, ah. So let us know in the comments if that's something that you would like to see us do. I pray that you have a blessed week, that the blessings of the Lord go before you, that the favor of the Lord would just surround you and everything and everyone that you love. Good night, everybody. We love you.
Good
Good
night.
Good night.